Hello. In this episode, I'm going to share with you 3 thoughts from Leviticus chapter 10, verses 1 through 3, answering the question, why did God kill Aaron's sons? Leviticus 10, 1 through 3 says, Now Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and offered unauthorized fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And fire came out from before the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. Then Moses said to Aaron, This is what the Lord has said, Among those who are near me, I will be sanctified, and before all the people, I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. One of the things that surprises me about today's religious climate is the casual nature with which we address worship. And it's surprising to me because there are accounts like this in the text of Scripture where it's demonstrated that God takes worship very seriously, not lightly at all, and because of that, we ought to as well. Here are 3 thoughts on why God killed Aaron's sons. Thought number 1, they used strange fire. Now, the strange fire that they use is hard to understand. We are not exactly sure what strange fire or unauthorized fire means. But essentially, what takes place is that Nadab and Abihu use fire that was not what they were supposed to be using to offer up incense before the Lord. And when they do that, the Lord demonstrates in dramatic fashion that his worship is not to be taken lightly. The sons of Aaron are killed right in front of everyone immediately. When this takes place, I can't help but think that the entire nation is terrified. So they use strange fire. This is the basic reason why they were killed by God. Thought number 2, they lacked sanctification. There was something missing in Nadab and Abihu. They were not holy, or they were not acting in a holy way. They were not being appropriately obedient to the Lord. They lacked sanctification, and because of that, the Lord would not put up with their presence before him. He would not accept their worship because they were acting outside of the bounds that he had given them. Thought number 3, they were disobedient. And this is something that all of us need to really understand, is that disobedience towards God inevitably leads to death. Disobedience to God inevitably leads to death, and because of that, obedience is such a vital part of serving God. We have this silly notion these days that God somehow needs us. Well, that's not the case at all. God doesn't need us. He's the one who made us. He doesn't require us to exist. He existed from eternity past. He doesn't have to have anything from us. So we might want to take that into consideration when we're considering our actions. We might want to consider the fact that God is holy, that he will be sanctified, he will be glorified, he will be known among the nations as being holy and separate. If we don't acknowledge that, if we don't take that seriously, it is to our own peril. And we must seek to be obedient to God, both in worship and in everyday life. These 3 thoughts come to you from Leviticus chapters 10 through 12, which is the reading for today. If you'd like to read through the Bible with me, you can do so by joining the Facebook group Through the Bible, where we are reading the text of Scripture together.